So is London safer than it was 15 years ago, or is it more dangerous than it was 15 years ago? That's the discourse that I saw on Twitter like a week ago, people having discussions about it. Because I grew up in Harlesden, from my perspective, I think things are definitely safer now. But we need to look at the data, the facts, the statistics, which is what we're going to do in this video, guys. As you guys can see in this article, that changed, but from 2022 to 2024, I believe, yeah, there were no gun murders in Brent, which is, bro, in Brent, Harrow, and Barnet, which is mental. So 10 years ago, 2010, there were 823,000, well, 824,000 if we round up, offenses recorded in London. And in 2024, well, 2023, 2024, obviously we can't get the stats for this year because this year is not over yet. There were 938,000 offenses recorded in London, crimes. Now, from 2010 to 2025, London's population has grown by about 1 million. So technically, per capita, per person, there are more crimes happening in London. So if we just go off of that, then you could say London is not safer than it was back in 2010. However, 15 years is a long time and a lot of things have changed. The feminism movement has grown a lot. So now when it comes to these sensitive things, women are more empowered now. I actually think the UK is probably the most feminist country, one of the most feminist countries in the world, in my opinion. Considering we had Margaret Thatcher, Theresa May running the country. Things like the Me Too movement have encouraged women to report these things, you know, DV, all these terrible things, which is a good thing. In London, it says in 2024, there were 25,000 sexual offences recorded by the Metropolitan Police, and they have been on the increase, and it's more than doubled because in 2010 it was just under 10,000 sexual offences recorded. And now the most common argument you'll hear to that is it's immigration. The problem is immigration. Some people might also blame it on feminism and say now men are scared to even do anything because they might be falsely accused. And there are some that might say it's because of the Me Too movement, all of these things that have encouraged women to, you know, report these things and not put up with it. And we weren't even talking about domestic abuse. In 2023, the Met Police recorded nearly 100,000 domestic abuse offences, and there have been an increase of almost 8% in that year. And from 2019 to 2023, there was an 8% increase in domestic abuse offences. And remember, in 2015, they added coercive control to domestic abuse as well. But with most of these cases, there's not enough evidence, like for anything, even with the sexual cases, domestic abuse cases, there's not enough evidence. They're not going to really prosecute, you know what I mean? And fraud has more than doubled to 2.3 billion. And I can't find any direct statistics here, but fraud is on the rise. And these numbers that they're reporting, I'm telling you, they're grossly underestimating it. And it's not going to be ever possible for them to take a look at every type of fraud, because fraud happens so much. The police ain't going to be able to deal with every single fraud case, only if it's at a certain amount. And even if the banks are able to bring the police enough evidence to prosecute, the police might say, we're not going to prosecute, we've got this. They're overwhelmed. So the bank might end up privately prosecuting you. If it's a stupid amount of money, they'll privately prosecute you. But they don't make these things public. But in 2024, the FCA went ahead with a private prosecution. So they are going to start privately prosecuting you if it makes sense. Because a lot of people say to me, oh, I gave my square to this person to do this and do that, and then I'm worried. It's like, bro, don't be worried, all right? They are never going to prosecute you, okay? They're not going to do it because they just haven't got the resources to do that. If it's not over 5 grand, like even 10 grand, I'd say, don't even lose a minute of sleep to that. But of course, as the cost of living crisis gets worse, you're going to see more fraud take place. But even Uber Eats, even when you order on Uber Eats Deliveroo and you lie and say, oh, they got this wrong, they got that wrong, that is technically fraud, but they're not going to be able to investigate, come up with a whole case for all of these things, you know what I mean? So it's going to be impossible to slow down fraud. The only way they're going to be able to slow down fraud is if they literally monitor all of us all the time, which is what they're going to end up trying to do. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. That's not funny. Look at this. In 2024, City of London Police, over £649 million lost to investment fraud in 2024. So we're never even going to have the full statistics. They'll never be able to do that. They'll never be able to tell us exactly how much fraud has taken place. But I can tell you guys, that is definitely contributed to a rise in overall crime, 100%. But an argument for domestic abuse, which I forgot to mention, is like the pandemic. You know, during the pandemic, a lot of people probably realized they don't like their partners because they had to spend more time with them as well. All of these factors, because there's like over 60 million people in this country, bro. You got to remember that. And everyone's got their own lives. Everyone's got their own, so it's going to affect people differently. But I definitely think the pandemic played a role in domestic violence going up 100%. Now, one thing that this city has kind of become known for now, which has been on a crazy rise is this.
Plus, phone snatching in central London. Do you know how to protect your device from fraud if it's stolen?
This is next to Big Ben. If I'm no, that's not next to Big Ben. But it says City of London Police. You can see the boxes there. Like you have to drive. If you're driving into City of London, there's never anyone in those, you know, checkpoint things. I've never seen anyone in them. But that signals that you're in the City of London. Now I will tell you guys, all right. If you're from London, you know this. But if you're not from London, you drive down to London, you have a nice time. Do not play in the City of London, because if the City of London pull you over, bro, best believe they're gonna breathalyze you. They're gonna drug swab you. They're gonna check your insurance. They're gonna check your address on your driver's license. They're gonna check everything. I've never heard a good story with somebody getting pulled over by City of London police. Even my co-host Jace, bro. They tried to come for him. They tried to prosecute him for driving with no insurance when he had insurance. He showed them evidence he had insurance, and they still tried to prosecute him, bro. And they were so embarrassed they didn't even end up turning up to court. Like it's just a joke thing. Even their parking ticket, like just don't play with the City of London, bro, because they're gonna get their money. You're gonna get in trouble. If you get pulled over by City of London police, bro, doesn't matter how you act. If you've done something wrong, they're gonna find out what you've done, bro. So if it's really bad what you've done, I recommend you run. I recommend you just run. In May, the City of London wrote this article, and they've actually been doing things, you know. They've actually been taking action. It's seen a nearly 30% reduction in phone snatching. Since the start of the year, there have been 213 phones reported stolen in the City of London. And that's reported, bro. That's reported. Most people are not reporting that. Hey, my people, if you could give this video a like, it'd be very much appreciated. Costs nothing, takes no time, helps boost me up in the algorithm. Thank you very much. Like the video, please. Like it now. Thank you very much. Cheers. I think most people are not doing that if their phone gets snatched, because it's like, bruv, it's gone. Like it's gone. Just like it's gone. I lacked. Whenever I go to central London, bro, I always make sure I'm on point when I'm walking with my phone in my hand, bro, because they come out and like they'll actually get you if you're too comfortable. They'll actually grab your phone, bro. But that's obviously contributed to the increase in crime, you know, pickpocketing, phone snatching, all these sort of things. But now let's take a look at the crimes that are actually down. Over here, I found this article from last year. The Met Police says gun crime is at a 15-year low.
Is that it? Is that it? That's it.
To its lowest level in 15 years, which is great. But the common argument you'll hear to that is, well, they're using knives now, which is true, bro, because, like, you know, shootings used to be out of control, bro. Brent, my borough I grew up in, shootings used to be out of control there. I remember at one point, Harlesden was the shooting capital of the country, bro. The police have been seizing a lot of firearms, but they've only managed to prosecute 50% of the people responsible for the shootings. The force is still failing to solve almost half. Now, that doesn't sound good, but that means, you know, the shootings are more, the shootings that are happening, they're more planned out. It's more organized crime and more like, you know, hit jobs, which is terrible. Don't get it twisted, it's terrible, but they have their intended targets. It's more professional hits that are going on with firearms these days. And there's this article, UK car theft rate drops. What's driving the change? Well, I know insurance for Range Rovers in London still hasn't gone down. Still impossible for someone like me to get insurance on that. Not impossible, but it just, you know, it costs the same as this space costs every month. You know, it doesn't make sense. But it even says, according to the DVLA, the most stolen cars were Ford Fiestas, Volkswagen Golfs, Ford Focuses, and the theft of Range Rovers declined, which, yeah, you noticed that. But in London, you don't see a Range Rover parked without the steering wheel lock, bro. It's a necessity, but even that don't do anything. If they want to steal the Range Rover, they're going to steal the Range Rover. But a reason for the decline in vehicle thefts is because the ANPR network is absolutely crazy. Like, around my areas, like on my journey to my studio, I go past like 3 ANPR cameras, 4 ANPR cameras. And what the ANPR cameras allow them to do is like track down stolen cars way better, way easier. And it even helps them solve crimes easier, because like, let's say me and the lads, we want to go up to Manchester, okay? We take 3 cars, we all drive up together. On the whole journey to Manchester, the ANPR cameras clock all 3 of us around the same time. One of us gets pulled over and there's a firearm in the car. They get arrested with that firearm, and then the rest of us are driving back. Because of the ANPR system, the other 2 cars, we're gonna get T-packed and we're gonna get held at gunpoint. You get what I'm saying? This article even says they've made an investment to open an ANPR hub where they're gonna have a control room with dedicated staff who will monitor and assess real-time information relating to it. Yeah, so they're on it, bro. That's definitely gonna happen. Back in 2010, 15 years ago, bro, like that's not happening. Maybe it would happen, but rarely. It'd be much easier to get away with it. While theft is up, burglary rates are actually down. What's the difference between theft and burglary? Burglary is theft, but I break into your yard. Well, I don't even have to break in. I just have to enter without permission and take something, and that's a burglary charge instead of a theft charge. So in London, the burglary rate is higher than the average, but the rate is going down. It's declining, which is a good thing. But there's a lot more I could cover, guys. Like I could make an hour video literally just researching, going into why this happened and why that happened and why this is that. Me personally, I think London is safer now. That's my opinion. Even though on paper, crimes per 1,000 people is slightly higher than it was in 2010, I would say now in London, there are no no-go zones. If you're not a gang member in London, there are no no-go zones. You can go anywhere in London. Obviously, there's going to be certain areas where you should just, you know, take extra precautions. I don't even think there is any areas like that in London anymore. Because of gentrification, like every part of London has higher earning people living there now. It's not just areas with just council estates, with just council tenants. Like, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I would say London certainly feels safer now. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Chung Lee, what do you actually think about London? Do you think it's gone safer or it's gone more dangerous? Chung Lee reckons London is actually paradise compared to how it was back in the day. I mean, Chung Lee, we don't know your age, but you've been here for a long time. So yeah, I guess Chung Lee's right. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and peace and love to every single one of you.